Hello my lovelies and welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn and today we're gonna make my secret weapon. It's green powder. One of my viewers asked me today, what's a green powder? Green powder, it's like my secret weapon. Jackie, I think you asked. Hi Jackie, this one's for you baby. Yeah, green powder is awesome. So this is something that I have been doing for years. And this is what green powder looks like. It's a terrific color. Yes, I've got it stored in an old jar, but it's airtight and it keeps my greens super delicious. So green powder is any greens that I was unable to use before they started to get a little bit questionable. If I got something at a really great bargain, if I got something on sale, because I hate waste. Also, greens are great for you. Spinach, romaine, heck, I'll even iceberg lettuce, collard greens, Swiss chard, whatever the green is. I love them all. But you know, sometimes it's hard to get through them, and I hate waste. So what to do? So I break out my handy dandy Nesco food dehydrator and I dehydrate them. And this is what they look like when they're dehydrated. Once I dehydrate them, I go ahead and put them into my food processor and I just give them a whirl. Then I store them in a little jar. And how I use them. Some in soups, sauces, dips. I wish I had used it in yesterday's cucumber bites. I didn't think about it. Does that ever happen to you? Are you making something? It's so good. Yay, hooray. And you wake up in the morning, should have used that. Should have included that. Well, I had that moment this morning. Yeah, this is these are some spinach leaves that I had from a bag of spinach that I didn't quite get all the way through. And so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put all of these spinach leaves in here in my food processing tub here. And I'm just going to whiz these right up in the food processor. Now, if you're dehydrating greens, I like to think about the toothsomeness of them. How much chewing is involved correlates to whether or not you should blanch your greens before you dehydrate them. So spinach, easy peasy. Doesn't require a lot of chewing. I don't blanch it first. Romaine, iceberg, nope, no blanching. Those are actually worse if you blanch them. Don't blanch them. Any of the lettuces, any of the spinach. Now I think about things like kale, Swiss chard, collard greens. These are all greens that I would typically cook for the most tender and delightful eating experience. So those are greens that I would give a very brief blanch to, let them, cool off, put those on my dehydrator trays, and then dehydrate those. Because those are going to rehydrate the best once they are blanched. They're going to look the best. They're going to preserve their color the best. They're going to be terrific, but blanch those first. So that's always my rule of thumb, is how much effort does it take to eat this green? The more effort it takes, then I will go ahead and give that a brief blanch. And just pretty much like 2 minutes in hot water, right into the ice bath, cool that off, get it onto your trays, get it going. Like Shorty Vaughn, I don't have a food dehydrator, and I don't know if I like dehydrated stuff. Okay, fair enough. A lot of toaster ovens have a dehydrating function. Your air fryer may have a dehydrating function. Your oven may have a dehydrating function. If it doesn't, you can put it on the warm setting and then go ahead and lay your greens out on a sheet pan, maybe a little bit of parchment, or one of those Silo pads. Anyhow, and on the warm function, go ahead and give that a dehydrate right in your oven. You may have to keep a better watch on it, your eagle eyes, because my warm function is actually like 165 degrees, which is a little bit warm for dehydrating leafy greens. But if you kept your eagle eye on it, it would be just fine. Maybe you see a dehydrator at Goodwill and you think to yourself, oh, but I don't know how to use it. Well, let me show you something. I bought this bread maker at Goodwill last week, $12.49. Looked inside, looked like it had never been used. Took it over at Goodwill. They have like a little plug, and you can plug stuff in, make sure that it works. So to the best of my knowledge, this works. As it plugged in, the LED screen lit up, and it started to make some noises. So I thought this would be a complete winner. Didn't know how it worked. But because we live in the 21st century and the magic of the internet, I took the make and model off of the back. Sometimes it's on the bottom. And then I went online and plugged that information into the Google machine and pushed the button, and it brought up the entire manual, which is very, very thick. Now, I printed it for purposes of this video, but typically I just download the PDF into my laptop, and then I have it forever. This included all of the recipes and all of the things that you need to know about using this bread maker. I saw 3 dehydrators at Goodwill. They were all under $10. I wanted to buy them all. The little stray dehydrators, give them a good home. Shorty Bond, you do not need 4 dehydrators. Yeah, that's a lot. I know some people that do, but that's a lot for me. So I restrained. I left those for someone else. So if you can pick up a dehydrator at Goodwill, go over and check it at the plug. If the fan turns on, you're in like Flynn. And then just, print your product guide, your instruction manual, the recipes, what have you, right off of the internet, and you can get going real simply. So I'm going to use this bread machine. Not today, but soon. Let me tell you, I've had a heck of a day. So last night at about 9:30 at night, my electricity went off, and that's fine. It's not a crisis. It's okay. And then while the electricity was off and we had the windows open trying to stay cool, there's like a domestic violence situation like 4 houses down, so called 911. And then come to find out the electrical problem was right next door, and I guess there's a small transformer in my neighbor's yard. I had no idea. Anyhow, so they were out there from like 11 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock this morning, and they're doing all the things, and they were so loud, and I have gotten absolutely no sleep. So I'm just a wreck. I am a hot mess. So let's go ahead and get going on this green powder. So it looks terrific. Got that over in my food processing bin here. Gonna go to the other side of the kitchen and just whiz this right up. Yay, hooray. Lock that sucker into place. This is my Roku food processor. Keep it on this little cart because they're all at my level, and then I don't have to lift them up and down off the counter. I'm too old for that malarkey. Go ahead and secure the lid in place. Now you don't need a Roku. Honestly, if you didn't have a food processor, you could probably just chop this up with like a pastry blender or something like that. For ease and convenience, and because I am lazy, I am going to just zap them in this thing. Any food processor, you could crumble it with very clean hands. That would be fine. But yeah, here we go. And it won't take long at all, and you can get it to your desired consistency. This is great in smoothies. This is great in dips, sauces, stews, whatever you might need to add a little something to. I use this as a thickener. I use this as a nutritional boost. I use this for extra flavoring. And most of the time people think it's parsley. Yeah, they think it's oh, isn't that bright and colorful? Yeah, absolutely. They don't always need to know that they're getting the extra greens. This tastes very bright, and it tastes a little bit, it's a little bit grassy. So I like it. It's not for everybody, of course, but I enjoy this, and like I said, I think this is great. So let's go ahead and we'll get this bottled up. Got my wide mouth canning funnel right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the super sharp blade off of here. Be careful with your food processor blades. That's usually what I get cut on. Set that right over there. And then I have this wide mouth canning funnel, and I have a clean jar. This has been washed, rinsed, and sanitized. And then easy peasy, I'm going to go ahead and just put that green spinach right in there, and I'm going to get started on my next jar. I usually always have 2 or 3 jars going. This one I'm using right now, and then I'll get started on the next one. I'm not a prepper. I'm not a food hoarder. If I'm not the one to take the last of anything generally. There are a few exceptions. Usually it's candy. Anyhow, but this is shelf stable. If you wanted it to last a very, very long time, throw an oxygen absorber in there, put the lid on tight, put it on the top shelf where I can't reach it, and you can have this indefinitely. If you got into a pinch and you were using your pantry items and you didn't have stuff for a salad, or you didn't feel like you were getting enough green vegetables, or you just needed like maybe a little bit of the extra iron from some spinach or what have you. Yeah, a little bit of this. So using a dehydrated product, a dehydrated vegetable, is usually a 1-to-4 ratio. 1 part of whatever dehydrated product you are using to 4 parts of water for it to come to its best consistency, best taste, and best rehydration. I'm going to use this tomorrow. Well, not this one, because this one's going to go up. But I'm going to use this one tomorrow because I'm making a pot roast. I'm going to make a kitchen sink pot roast, everything but the kitchen sink. Got a lot of stuff in my refrigerator I need to run through because I hate waste. Going to add some of this because we're having a junky dinner tonight, because honestly I'm too tired to make anything. So we're going to have chicken fingers and baked potato and some fresh cut fruit, and we're calling it a day. So, yep, green powder, there we go. Super yummy, super delicious, super nutritious. Smoothies, dips, sauces, stews, I don't know. What else? You could make a special little mayonnaise with it. Yeah, a little remoulade. You could do all kinds of things. What will you use green powder for? All kinds of things. All right, my lovelies, I'm going back to bed. Be good, be careful, look both ways, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll make a pot roast. Yay, hooray! Got it at Albertsons, 30% off. You know I did.